Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you so much, Ganix. I am Dr. Triple A's here, thank God. So we're going to wait for a little while so that others can join us. So say let's wait for like maybe 3 minutes and then we'll start. Thank you so much for joining. Please, you can share the live with your friends so that they can join as well and be a partaker of this amazing session that we'll be having with Dr. Triple A today. Let's please share the live, share with your friends to join on the live session. Thank you so much for those that are joining. Thanks for joining. We'll start soon. Thank you for joining, guys. Let's please share the live. Let's share the live. Some people are trying to join us, so we just to wait a little while so they can join the live. Eze Victor, thank you so much for joining. You're welcome. Please make sure to like and share the live as well. We are trying to wait for others to join before we get started. So we'll be starting very soon. In like say 3 minutes, we should join. Sir Daniel, thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Owokweju Deborah, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So we'll just wait for a little while so others can join the live. So please make sure that you share this live. Share it so that others can join. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. We'll start soon. Let's just wait a little while. Okay, we have Eze Victor, we have Ganix, we have Sir Daniel. Eze Victor, I see you. Thank you so much. We have our speaker here. Okay. So once it's 5 minutes past, we'll get started. Dr. Triple A, welcome. Please, if you can, kindly request to, or let me see if I can add you. Okay, no requests yet. Okay. So before we bring up the speaker, before we bring up Dr. Triple A, thanks to everyone that has joined so far. Please make sure you share the live so that others can join and benefit from this pre-lect today. So while we wait for our guest speaker to join us, I would like to tell us what TEDx Alausa is about. So what is TEDx Alausa? TEDx Alausa is an independently organized event in Alausa where live talks, performances, and valuable information are shared. Please, if you can hear me, let me know. Please type in the comment section. I can hear you, so I know that I'm not talking to myself. Thank you. Kindly let me know if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. Thank you so much. So, what is TEDx Alausa? TEDx Alausa is an independently organized event in Alausa where live talks, performances, and valuable information are shared. Now, what is the purpose of TEDx Alausa? TEDx Alausa's main aim is to spark communication and conversation and build a community in Alausa, Lagos, and Nigeria at large. As such, our upcoming event, which is also the second edition of the TEDx Alausa event, is fully loaded with valuable information and exciting activities that will be beneficial to you. So plan to attend this event, right? And right about now, because of this event, we are having our prelect to sensitize the public, not just about what TEDx Alausa is about, but on topics that will be beneficial to your life, to your business, and the world at large. So for this reason, we have our speaker for today, whose name is Dr. Adeni Alfred Atiba. So I'll be reading his profile shortly. Okay, so Dr. Alfred Adeni Atiba, popularly known as Dr. Triple A, is a high performance catalyst with 23 years of practical industry experience. He has coached and consulted for thousands of business owners and professionals across Nigeria, Africa, North Korea, the UK, and the USA. Dr. Alfred has personally trained over 3,000 individuals and numerous organizations, helping them achieve clarity and success in business, career, finance, and life goals. His expertise spans management consulting, HR marketing, sales, project management, and digital marketing. He is also recognized in psychology, communication, mental health, emotional intelligence, and leadership. Dr. Alfred has collaborated with esteemed organizations such as the John C. Maxwell Foundation, Global Leadership Summit, and USAID. He holds multiple excellence awards, including recognition from Lagos Business School, Leeds City University, and the Pacesetters Conference. Professionally certified in coaching, project management, marketing, and leadership from renowned institutions like the Ecology Institute of Psychology, Scotland, and Daystar Leadership Academy, Nigeria. Dr. Alfred is a distinguished authority in his field. He is the director and founder of the Dr. Triple A Company, a global capacity development, coaching, and consulting firm. Additionally, he leads several initiatives, including Success Hackers Community and the Business Owners Global Conference. Dr. Alfred holds a PhD in leadership, a master's in educational management, and a bachelor's in statistics. He is happily married to Adeola and blessed with 3 children. We have a household name amongst us today, in person of Dr. Alfred Adeni Atiba, also known as Dr. Triple A. So please make welcome with me, Dr. Triple A, as he joined the live for a session today. Okay, so I'll be sending an invite to Dr. Triple A now. So Dr. Triple A, please, if you're here with us, kindly join the live. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Triple A. It's so lovely to have you. Thank you very much for being here, sir. Thank you. And I've just introduced to you, read your profile, and it's amazing the things that you've done, the things that you've achieved. Like, you inspire people like us to do better, to also contribute to the society at large. So thank you so much for honoring our invite to be on this live session today. And I'm happy that we're talking on, how our daily habits shape our lives. That is in terms of understanding personal systems. So the floor is yours, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Can you hear me, Elizabeth? Is this clear enough?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's a huge honor to be here. Thank you very much to TEDx Alausa for having this. I had to quickly, zoom out your, can you do that? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Oh, this is good, right? All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I was asked to zoom out from my camera. All right. Okay, so I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to be on TEDx Alausa. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. So I'm talking to us briefly and quickly on how our daily habits shape our lives. That's quite interesting.
Yes,
Understanding
sir.
personal systems. Quite interesting. So years ago, my journey started because I wanted to be successful. So I needed to understand what exactly what success is, right? Thanks, Daniel. Daniel, good to see you. How are you? So I wanted to understand what success means. I wanted to be successful. I was a young man, and I needed to study and understand what success means. And that's how I came across the word habit. So I'm excited that we're talking about how our daily lives shape, our lives. But there are some keywords we need to look at while we dive in. Number one is what's a habit? A habit is a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. In other words, you started practicing it, you started doing it, it was something you started with, and then it just became part of you, and it's something that you are now doing daily. Now, there are two words that actually come up when you hear the word habit, and that's the word reinforcement and repetition.
Hmm.
Reinforcement and repetition. Okay? So so whatever you repeat become reinforced in you. So if you're used to smiling, right? You're continuously smiling. It becomes something that is reinforced in your life. Okay? That's a habit. Okay? What are daily habits? Summary of that, they are small decisions and actions that you engage in regularly. Your daily habits are what? The small decisions and habits that you what? And behavior, sorry, that you engage in regularly. It becomes part of you. Those are some of the key words, right?
Yes.
And let's look at the word life, because we're looking at how our daily habits what shape our
People
lives. Let's look at the word life.
life.
What's a life? A life is a combination of things that you do during a duration. So everybody has a zero and everybody has an end.
Hmm.
We're not God. It's only God that's infinity. So we start from zero and we move to what? An end. Now that end is determined by a lot of factors. People will say, well, basically God decides when you go. Some people will tell us, well, it has to do with your management of your life. Now I want to say to us that regardless of how long God gives you, it doesn't matter how long it is, if you don't manage your life well, you can die earlier or quicker than you should die. That's very
Hmm.
important. So that's what the life is, isn't it? And then
Yes.
let's look at the other side of it, personal systems. But before we come to personal, let's look at the word system. A
Hmm.
system is anything that saves you. I learned this years ago and I still loved it. I just loved the whole idea. A system is anything that saves you what? From stress. It saves you time, it saves you energy, and it saves you a lot of money. I'll say that again. A system is anything that saves you from stress, it saves you energy, it saves you money, right? It saves you
Yes,
from
sir.
stress, it saves you time, it saves you energy and money. So anything that you do, anything you're able to put together, that you create a system, a procedure, whatever it is that you can put together that allows you to be relieved from stress, and it saves you time, it saves you energy and money. It's a system. So when we talk about personal systems, now we're bringing it home. We're talking about the fact that a system is anything that should give you leverage in life. Oh, I don't know whether you
Hmm.
hear what I'm talking about. A
Yes, sir.
personal system is anything that what
Like,
that gives you that should give you a leverage in life. All right. So if you are going to create habits, your habits should actually grant you, they should give you leverage in life. They should put you up there. They should place you in an advantage position when it comes to life, right? And one of the things I found out is that when we are building habits, a lot of us, this is what somebody said. Somebody said years ago, said that habits, that we are the ones that form our habits, and then our habits make us. We form those habits, and those habits, what? They make us. So it's very important that we need to be intentional. That's my word. To become intentional about the kind of habits that we allow ourselves to create, because those habits will actually create us. So habits are like what I call operating systems, right? When you create these operating systems, humans create the operating system, but then the operating system regulates the life. So our habits are like our software, okay? They're like our software that we update. We must update them regularly. We must work on them regularly to ensure that these things are working for our good. I don't know whether you hear what I'm saying. Now,
yes,
so
sir.
that said, if we're going to talk about how our habits shape our lives, I'm already saying that already, as you can see. They shape our
Yes.
lives. How? Because whatever you do is what people perceive you to be.
Hmm.
Now, if you have a habit of greeting people, if you have a habit of greeting people, you have a habit of, greeting people, treating people well, guess what happens to you? You become friends. You make a lot of friends. I love the fact that he who is friendly, we attract more friends. If you want to make more friends, you got to be friendly. That's a habit that you need to create. So how do you set out to intentionally be friendly? Now that is the whole idea. The end result comes naturally. So let's look at habits versus goals. Habit versus goals. Habits, ladies and gentlemen, are the differentiating factor between the successful and the unsuccessful. When I started on my journey, I discovered, I was trying to look at it. What's the difference between people who succeed? That the world look at and they say that these people have succeeded. And I started looking at people from all over the world, thousands of people. I read a lot of biographies. And I discovered that habits are the differentiating factors between the successful and the unsuccessful. The people who you consider as failure, people who consider as successful, what they do are habits, right? And the number one mistake that people make in life is to think that that goals are more powerful than habits. Let me say that again. They think goals are more powerful, they're more important than habits. No. Let's look at this. Goals are the results that you want to achieve within a specific period of time. Why what? Habits are the processes that lead to those results.
Yes.
Right? So goals are tools for setting your course of action. But what? Habits are the best if you want to make and measure sustainable and significant progress in your life. If you want to have the sustainable progress in your life, what do? You just simply replicate the habits of successful people. You replicate the habits of successful people. Very, very, very important. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, serious attention must be placed on our habit creation because those habits are interesting. Now, for anybody who sleeps more than 10 hours a day, you already know that's a habit. If it's consistent, if it's something that is hard to give up, that's a habit. Now, you already know if that person is not maximizing the remaining 12 hours, right? They will surely fail in life. So we need to definitely start to look at it. What are those habits that I need, that you need to actually succeed? These things are very important. In life, can I be real with you? Everybody, most of the time, I've discovered from my research that winners and losers, they all have goals. Losers don't start up that they want to end up as losers. They don't. But guess what? What makes the difference in the very end is a habit that the losers engage in. I'll tell you a quick story. So I heard a story years ago, very powerful story, and I kept it. So two gentlemen walked up to an oracle and they asked from the oracle, what will the next 10 years of our lives be like? And the oracle told the first gentleman, looking so nice and dandy and packaged and everything, and said, you know what? I just need to tell you that you're not going to succeed in life. In the next 10 years, you're not going to amount to anything. You will not succeed. You will not make it. Your life will be drab and all those things. And that man, left distraught. He left depressed. He left no strength in his body. The oracle turned to the other gentleman, looking at him and said to him, young man, your future is very bright. You're going to succeed. You will excel. You become so rich and wealthy, and people will know you. Now, guess what happens? This gentleman leaves rejoicing, shouting on the top of his voice, said, my future is secure. I've got something to live for. Now, upon getting home, the young man who was given the first news, of course, that terrible, disastrous news, what did he do? For the first 2-3 days, he sat down, no strength. He couldn't eat. He felt bad. He said to himself, I've got no future. What am I living for? But then one day, on the morning of the 7th day, he got up and he said to himself, regardless of whatever they told me, my future is in my hands. My future is in my hands. I think he probably remembered what the man Abraham Lincoln said when he said that the the only guaranteed future anybody will have is the one they create with their own hands. And so this gentleman stood up and started working seriously. And he created habits, successful habits. He started to study the successful habits of successful people. What do? There are certain things that successful people do. Number one, they plan their day before it is that day. They plan their day a night before. So he started to plan his day a night before. Started to plan and plan his day. He would plan his day, he would decide on what he was going to do. And then number two, the next day, he would write down the list of the things he wanted to do and he would implement them. And this young man would go all out and he would work very hard. Let's look at the story of the second young man. The second young man, getting home, said to himself, you know what? They told me I'm going to make it. So you know what he did? He started drinking around, playing around, womanizing, doing all sorts of things. He didn't do anything with his life. Guess what? When 10 years came, who do you think succeeded?
The other man that
Obvious.
planned the night before.
Obviously.
And then, yeah.
Obviously. Why? Because of habits. Habits determine your results. Your habits will determine your future. It's not about how great your future is. It's about how carefully crafted your habits are. If your habits are millionaire habits, you'll become a millionaire. That's how powerful your habits are. That's the way it is. And if your habits are that of a foolish man, you end up a foolish man. Are you getting what I'm saying here? This is where the gap, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the gap begins to get more and more. You see, you see a goal, you see achieving a goal, ladies and gentlemen, results in a momentary change. But when you invest in habits, guess what happens to you? You produce permanent results. Permanent results. In other words, habits make your goals happen. Sorry, I didn't get you.
What you said earlier,
Yeah.
I was like, if you could repeat it in case like some people did not catch that, because that was
All right.
very key.
Yeah. So I said that you see, achieving goals results in what we call a momentary change. It's temporary. When you achieve a goal, it's just temporary, right? But when you build a new successful habit, you produce permanent results. Your habits are guaranteed to produce permanent results for you. So your habits make your goals happen. Who you become is tied to the kind of habits that you create. And I have never seen a man or a woman or a child who is not a product of their habits. Can I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that today I stand before you as a product of habits. The product of habits. I've seen a lot of people sit up, wake up every day, not doing nothing. I've seen a lot of people wake up. You know, there's so many things we can talk about when it comes to habits. You know what? Let me just go on. Your habits will either make or break you. They will either make or break you. If you have good habits, they will make you. If you got bad habits, they will what? They will break you. Your habits will either make you rich or make you poor. Your habits will either make you a leader or a follower. It's how well you imbibe in that habit that makes things change. That's exactly what it is. So some people get addicted to things. Why? Because they keep on doing those things and they get into it. Can I say to you that habits are the fuel that sustain the achievement of goals in life? Whoever you want to become, your habit will sustain the achievement of that goal. That is the fuel behind it. You are guaranteed to become successful if you imbibe, if you practice the habits of successful people. Can I say to you that when you imbibe and practice the habits of people who fail, it's natural. When I want to see people who have a great future, I just look at their habits. I look at what they do. It starts from there. Successful starts from within you before it shows on the outside. It starts from within you before it shows on the outside. How is it invisible? Because of the habits that you create. Your habits are manifested first through thoughts, then through intention, then become a behavior. And then when you start to practice that behavior, remember the first two words I said the other time, reinforcement, and repetition. When you begin to repeat the same behavior, then it becomes reinforced in you, and then it becomes a stronghold. That's what I say. It becomes a force that it becomes hard for you to depart from it. Now, if you are consistently, intentionally speaking, consciously, you're speaking well, you're trying to communicate effectively to people, guess what happens? If you do it long enough, people will begin to say to you that you speak well
Wow.
because you are intentional about it. You are careful about it. If you intentionally manage the money that come into your hand and you are disbursing it according to a budget and you make it a discipline every single time, it will become a habit over time. And people will say you're a good money manager. If you report to your place of work every single day, regardless of whatever it is, you make sure you show up before 8 a.m. every day. You plan your day, you wake up 4, and you ensure that you leave the house early enough to get to your place of work repetitively every day before 8 o'clock. It will become a habit. And let me tell you something, people promote habits. Oh, can I say that again? Managers promote habits, they don't promote people. Oh, come on now. Am I talking to somebody?
Yes,
People
yes, sir.
promote habits, they don't promote people. Your managers will promote the habit that they see you exhibit, the
Execute.
habit that is consistent. People promote efficiency, they promote consistency. Anything that is consistent, that is good, deserves an award, because for every labor there's what? There's a reward. Now, if that labor is a consistent one that produces amazing results, it will definitely be rewarded. It is critical that we do that. We understand that every one of us must invest in those habits. So, over the years, to get to where I am today, I have had to practice some habits. Let me share some of the habits that I practice. One of them is the fact that, like I said initially, I practice planning. Okay, so I've sat down to have a life plan. I have a life plan, and when I look at my life plan, I ensure that every single night I sit down, no matter what it is, I sit down to meditate about my next day. I'm implementing a plan. I divide my life plan into years. All right. So what am I achieving this year? Sit with it, then I meditate on it. And then the next day I get myself to do certain things. There are about 10 things I will write down using the Pareto law. I must sit down to identify what are the top two that will produce and give me 80% of my greatest achievements. I sit with that. It doesn't matter what. And then when I wake up every day, because you see, a lot of us are used to it, it has become a habit. The first thing that a lot of us do, and it is a habit that actually removes power from you, it is a habit of people picking up their phones first thing when they wake up. Come on, can I speak to you?
Yes,
When you wake up in
sir.
the morning, the first thing you do is not to pick your phone. The first thing you need to do is to pick up your pen and your journal, to look at your life, to assess your day. When you do that consistently, can I say to you, most habits are formed when you invest 21 days into the same thing. If you read Blink by Malcolm Gladwell, you read, it's an author of Outliers. When he spoke, he talked about the fact that a lot of people become masters, they become professionals, they become powers to be reckoned with when they have invested 10,000 hours on the same material, the same subject, the same practice. When you give yourself to practicing repetition, remember, repetition and
Yes,
enforcement,
sir.
you give yourself into repeating the same thing for 10,000 hours, you become a master in that thing. So you see how critical it is to develop habits that empower us, but definitely not the ones that disempower us. Okay, so when you wake up every morning, like I said, give yourself to looking at your life before you pick your phone, because at that state in time, you are at a mental state that we call the beta state. The beta state at that level, your brain is creative, is working perfectly fine. Your brain is working at its most optimal level. You are able to see things and solve problems that naturally you're not able to do. So, you woke up from that state and then you put your things on paper and you plan how you look at your day. You don't pick your phone. All right? You plan your life. And when you do that, guess what happens to you? You're able to achieve a lot more. This is one of the habits that I've had to form over time. There is this temptation to pick up my phone, to scroll up, to look at Facebook, to look at Instagram. Oh, doctor, you go through. Oh, yes, I go through the same. We all go through the same temptations. But what you need to do is to ensure that you form those habits that will empower you. You form those habits that will empower you. One of those habits, other habits, is a habit of budgeting. You need to sit down with your life and begin to budget yourself. What most people do is they spend money at will, they don't spend money according to a budget. Now, to get into that, like I said, you have to put your life into automation. You need to understand yourself. Like we said, it's a means when we understand how our habits shape our lives, it's a mean to what? To also understanding our personal systems, right? So, how do you work? How do you run? How does your system run? You've got to ensure that your habit reinforces. Remember, it must give you a leverage in life. All right? Am I here? Are you with me? Your
Yes,
habits
sir.
must what? Give you a leverage in life. I think I'm just going to stop there so that I can allow you know people to talk. Let me hear from people, and then I can drop in one or two things.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. This has been super enlightening, insightful, I must say. And my notepad is actually full because I
Wow.
had so many things to write.
Yeah.
And I hope that those watching us live had, caught insights that they can imbibe in their life. These are practical things, right? There are a lot of action points here. And some of the things that actually caught my attention is okay. So we have daily habits are the small decisions and behaviors you engage in regularly, right?
Regularly.
So
Yes.
some of the things that seem insignificant that we do, whether consciously or unconsciously, are a product of our habit, or they compile to become an habit, right? So that's why we don't just live life as it is. We have to be intentional because
Yeah.
what you do on a daily basis, right, determines the outcome of your life. So if you are not intentional about what you do daily, right, you're actually
Yeah.
like progressing towards failure or success as it were. But of course, the success that is not planned is not or cannot be attained. That's why we have to be intentional about what we do on a daily basis, how we engage, how we live our life. And just to talking on the topic, like how our daily habits shape our lives, right? Something that I also picked from what you said is, for example, if you are a friendly person, if you are somebody that greets people a lot, right? People
Yeah.
perceive you as
Yeah.
friendly, right? If you are engaging in activities that, okay, say for example, you want people to say, oh, she speaks well, right? You have to be conscious about how you talk to people, the kind of things that you listen to, because
Yeah.
you cannot give what you don't have, bottom line, and
That's
what
it.
is inside of
That's
you
it.
actually what you project on the outside. And that thing that also caught my attention is you differentiating habits and goals. The habits are the differentiating factor between successful and unsuccessful people, right? Now we have, okay, something you said here. You said winners and losers all have goals, right?
They all have
It's
goal.
the habit that makes the difference. That is very crucial, right? Because of course everybody wants to be successful,
Yeah.
but are you putting in that conscious work, right? Laziness is an habit.
Mm.
Laziness is an habit. But when you
Yes.
are hardworking, it's also an habit, right? You can decide that, oh, just because I want to achieve this goal, then I'm going to put in or build the habit of showing up regardless, even when you're tired, even when you're weak, right? Because you have a goal, then you build the habit. And that's why, I could relate when you said habit is the fuel, right? Towards achieving your goal. Because if you don't build the right habits, you cannot achieve that goal that like set for yourself to achieve. So that was very, very important, crucial. So for those that joined us late, I'm just trying to summarize and just pinpoint some of the vital things that Dr. Triple A has said so far. And then you also said something about, you know, the only guaranteed future anyone will have is the one that he creates with his own hand. So you want to be successful, you want to be a great person out there. What are the habits that you have? What are the habits that you are building towards achieving that personal, you know, that's towards achieving what you actually want people to perceive you as, right? And then, okay, what are the habits of successful people? Like some of the examples you gave, you said plan your day, like just plan your life. Anything you want to do, just have a plan, right? Plan. If your habits are foolish, then you become foolish, right?
Yes.
But if your habits are one that is just what's being successful, right, then you become successful. Your habits would have make or break you. It could make you poor. It could make you rich, depending on the habits that you imbibe. So habits you should build. You said plan your life. You just gave us few examples. You said plan your life, meditate on it. Those are some of the things that you do. And what you do is like, okay, you plan your day a night before, you meditate, and then okay, so you take action, right, towards achieving your goals, right? And another thing is also building the habits of budgeting as well. So these are crucial, these are important, and I'm so happy that we get to learn this from you today, Dr. Triple A. So I don't know if there is any other thing that you want to teach us, or if that will be all before we start getting questions. And of course, I also have my own questions as well. Yeah. So I don't know if there's anything you want to say, sir, maybe in addition to what you've touched on so far. Can you hear me, sir? Okay. My network. Oh, is it my network or Dr. Triple A's network? Please, if you can hear me, can you let me know if you can hear me in the comment section? Uh, is this on my network? Okay. Please, if you are live and you can hear me, kindly indicate in the comment section. If you are live and you can hear me, Dr. Triple A is okay. I'm sure he will join us soon. Please let me know if you can hear me, and make sure to okay. I was thinking it's my network, so apparently it's not. Let me try and add him again.
Okay.
Okay.
I lost you there. Yeah, but back now I can hear you.
Okay, good to have you back. So I was just saying, like, if there's any other thing that you'd like to, maybe a summary or any other thing that you have to, teach us, we are very, very happy to learn. And before we take questions, so if you're in the comment section and you have questions, please you can type in your questions now. And when Dr. Triple A is done, you would be able to answer the question. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying with us till now as well. Really appreciate you. Yeah, Dr. Triple, over to you, sir.
All right. So, yeah, I wanted to say that it's not about the size of the goal, it's about the habit. So, it's not about the size of the goal. Sometimes we want to set audacious goals. We tell ourselves, because I coach people and people say all sorts of things to me. I want to be the best this in this industry. I want to become.
Okay, I think Dr. Chipe is having network issues. So if you're live and if you're live with us and you have any question at all for Dr. Triple A based on the conversation that we've just had now, you can just type in your questions in the comment section while he tries to join us again. So please start, thinking about your questions. We would love to hear from you.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I don't know what's going on. I was just kicked out again.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Thank you, Daniel. All right. So I was saying that, that it's so interesting how people, say to me that they want to achieve this, they want to do that, they want to become the best in their stuff. But I look at them and I laugh. You know why I laugh? I laugh because what will make that the differentiator between them and their end, ladies and gentlemen, and their end goal, their end game is the habit. And I've seen it
Mm.
happen over the years. I see a lot of people come. In fact, you'll be shocked that people will pay me good money. I mean, good money. And they tell me that they want to what? They want to perform. They want to be, they want to do this, they want to do that. And I'm laughing. It's not about your statements. It's about your
Mm.
habit. Your
Mm.
habit will tell me in the very end
Whether you are or not.
whether you're going to ace your goal or not. And can I be real with you? I've seen people pay me, like I said, good money, but they don't, the habits fight them. People say that they have village people fighting them. It's not the village people, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the village people, it's a habit. Are
Mm.
you determined to get your goal? Are you determined to put in the work? You see, those habits of consistency, the habits of determination, the habits of discipline, where you show up even when you don't feel like it. That's what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Are you ready to put in the work? And so I tell people before you get in fact, if I want to help people, you know what I do? The first thing I do, the first 1 month, because we do like 3 months, the first thing we do is to sit them down and help them build a conscious what? Habit portfolio. You want to have a habit portfolio where you have the right habits that will help you to achieve your goals. When we
That was
build that
actually,
first 1 month,
sorry, sir. That
yeah,
was actually like a question that I had to note down because I was about asking, like, how do people build the zeal to practice LD habits? Because it's easy to say, okay, just build healthy habits, like what to do daily, wake up, set your goals like a day before, be consistent, show up even when you don't feel like it. Now, some people want to, right? But they don't just have that, is it the strong will, the zeal? Like, so how do people build the zeal, the strength that is necessary to actually do these things? Say, for example, oh, okay, so I want to learn about a certain thing, and you're told, okay, at least to read one book every month, right? And then people are finding it difficult to sit down and read. So how do you build, what is that thing that actually helps you to achieve? So I'm sure that's something that will be on people's mind as well. So please, if you could. So because we want to start talking about like maybe the things that we could do. So that's why I just put out that question. So it's all encompassing. Thank you, sir.
okay, beautiful. Thank you, Elizabeth. All right, so one of the things we need to understand is that, I love what, one of the Newton's law of motion states. It says that an object will remain in a state of rest, right? It's been there for years, but a lot of us are just picking it up now. We're learning from that, right? Isn't it very interesting that an object to remain in a state of rest, right? Until an external force is applied to it, right? Let me explain what that means. It's called the law of what? The law of inertia. Okay? So we will remain in a state of rest. We will not do anything tangible with our lives until an external force comes. And that external force can come as an inspiration, it can come as pressure. In management, there are two ways to inspire people. You want to hear about it. Number one, are you there? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Okay. Please, could you share whether you can hear me? I can't hear Elizabeth anymore. Can anybody hear me? Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Daniel. All right, so good. So there are two ways you can inspire people. One is what we call the Kane method, and the other is what we call the carrot method. In other words, the Kane method does not necessarily mean you whip people, but it means that you apply pressure, right? Or better still, you can inspire them, motivate them. That's what the carrot method is. So when it comes to us developing healthy habits, we need either of the two. We need to either be inspired or we need to be pressured. And this is what I've learned from people. It's what I've learned from people. People will actually, there are two kinds of people. Some of us do well when we're motivated, when we're inspired, while some of us need pressure. So if you're going to build healthy habits, you want to build habits, what do you need? You need to be under an accountability structure, right? You need to be under an accountability structure. That is very important, very critical. You need to be under an accountability structure, right? You need to put yourself under someone or some set of people, or even in a group where you're able to what? Consistently do what you want to do and ensure that people are monitoring you. Okay. This is one of the reasons why I love being a coach, because I
Okay.
love helping people to build what? To build powerful, you know, wonderful, positive, healthy habits. Okay. No, so just imagine. So, like I said, I was saying initially that most habits are formed in 21 days, right? So, imagine that you are under a coach and you want to get some things done. So, the first thing I do when you tell me you come with your goal is to identify the habits that will help you achieve those goals. So, we sit together, we discuss, and I tell you these are the things that you need to do, and then we agree, we compromise, right? And then your work is to start to imbibe those habits, is to get yourself into doing those habits. By the time you run them for 30 days, what happens? You begin to master those habits. Now, after that, guess what happens? Because those 30 days, you are under an accountability structure. So we meet weekly and we discuss what are you doing? And you tell me, okay, these are the things you want to do. And then I tell you, okay, if you don't get them done, these are the consequences. So what do I do? So I inspire you, at the same time apply pressure, the pressure of consequence. Now, if you get it, there's a reward. If you mess it up, there's a consequence. So I'm using both what we call what? The cane and the carrot method. Can you get that now?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
so you're under an accountability structure. So when you are under an accountability structure and you are reporting and you're reporting, and then I begin to come and we discuss and I blow your mind, I put a lot of, inspire you, put a lot of stuff on you, and then tell you run with it, right? Give you my industry experience, share stuff with you, do all those things, and I tell you, you know what? Go. You can do it. Now, when you go, it is the onus is on you to perform. But when you don't perform, what happens? You come back to report. Oh, I messed up. This is what I didn't do. And then we are light again. What didn't you do well? Where did you miss it? Guess what? The more you do that, the more you report, the more you have somebody that you're accountable to, you are able to build a better what? A better and a healthy
Habit.
habit.
Habit. Interesting. So this means if you are falling short in terms of building healthy habits that would, push you towards achieving your goals, being successful, then you need, I think the important thing here is you need somebody to be accountable to, right? You need a coach because now these are things that are not part and parcel of you yet, right? And like Dr. Triple A said, like it takes 21 days at least to for most habits to be formed, right? So you need somebody to be accountable to, right? Through inspiration and pressure, right? Somebody that is going to, just help you, hold your hand while you are growing, right? So somebody that inspires you. Just for example, like something that you said earlier when you were talking. So you said if you want to be successful, then you need to copy the habits of successful people, right? So if you want to build habits, right, successful or habits that will lead to your success and all of that, even when you're getting a coach, when you're getting somebody to be accountable to, you need to ensure that they have the results that you are looking for, right? So I think that is also vital as well. So thank you so much for answering that question, sir. Thank you so much. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, it's clear.
can I also say quickly, Elizabeth, that
Okay.
I discovered that every one of us, we are inherently lazy.
Mm.
Now, what that means is that if we allow to govern ourselves without pressure, without inspiration, a lot of us will not achieve our goals in life. We will not move forward. We need people's help. You can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. That's why it's important that you don't hate the people who pressure you to succeed. Don't hate them. Your comfort zone is called your comfort zone because nothing great happens there. It's only your crushing zone that is designed for your promotion. Let me say that again. People think that the crushing zone is the killing zone. No, the crushing zone is critical for you so that you can become better. If you're not crushed, if you're not remolded, if you're not under pressure, how will your oil come out? How will your wine come out? How will the value, the flavor that you have, how will it come out? How will you truly understand your true potential? How do you understand your true potential without pressure? How? How? You will never truly know what you're capable of until you are placed in the place of pressure, under pressure. That's the only place. So what I've discovered is this. Even I, coach, the best of coaches, they need coaches. Even the best of coaches have coaches.
Yes,
The best of performers. Check all the successful people. I sat down to do my research. All over the world, name them. Celine Dion has a voice coach. Can you believe it? She has her own. Oh, yes. Even at her age, she still has a voice coach, right? People like Magic Jackson, Jordan, sorry, Michael Jordan had a coach. Name them. Give me the names. Mention the names of all the big people. Lionel Messi. Mention them. They have coaches. All the best people in the world. The people, the high performers, all of them, they all have coaches. So if you want to get the best out of yourself, and this is what I tell to people, you want to move from good to great, you've got to what? Put yourself under pressure. You've got to place yourself under somebody that can help you develop the right habits that will get you to your great. Listen to me. Good is always the enemy of great. The fact that you got it good does not mean that there's no greater things for you to get out there. There's more for you to get. I hope that helps.
Thank you very kindly, Dr. Triple A. This has been an amazing, insightful session. Amazing stuff. So please, I hope we heard that part, that people think the crushing zone is the killing zone, but it is not, because it is vital. It is vital to your refurbishment, that shiny person that you actually want to become, right? It's just like gold, right? Gold goes through fire before it becomes, what we see, what we like, right? So when you see somebody that puts you under pressure to be better, right? So there are different type of pressure. So when we're talking about the positive pressure, I don't hate such people. In fact, you need those kind of people in your life. Like Dr. Triple A said, naturally, right? We are lazy. We need somebody to push. Even the great of the greatest also have coaches, like people that they are accountable to, people that push them, people that remind them of their goals, of who they are. Because sometimes you can just get relaxed and forget. Like he said, good is the enemy of great. So do you want to be good or you want to be great? I think that's a food for thought. That's a question. Now you have to ask yourself. Some people are comfortable with being just good, right? But do you want to dare to be different, right? And move from just being good to being great. And that's why the TEDx platform is also here, right? So the TEDx platform was created to sensitize people, right? So this is a learning platform. The fact that you are here means that you are also working towards building that successful habit that will help you towards living a successful life. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. Thank you so much, Dr. Triple A, for being here with us and teaching us from your wealth of knowledge. We don't take it for granted. And like I said, I don't know if anyone here has questions. Please, Dr. Triple A is here to answer our questions. You can just put your question in the comment section and I'll be reading them out for Dr. Triple A to answer. So just wait for 1 minute. I think 1 minute is okay to wait to read your question. So if you have any question, you can just put it in the comment section and I'll read it out. So while we wait for the question, I would also like us to know that this is our prelect. The main events will be happening before the end of this year, and the date will be communicated to us. So if you are here and you're not following the TEDx Alausa Instagram page yet, please make sure to like, follow, and comment on our post so that once you follow, turn on your post notification, right? And when the events flyer comes, you'll be able to see it first, right? So, and you can also follow Dr. Triple A on his social media platforms. He is at I am Dr. Triple A. So I'm going to type it now in the comment section so you can follow him as well. Dr. Triple A. So he's always, posting gems, things that would help your life, right? So you can follow Dr. Triple A, follow us at TEDx Alausa as well. We're still waiting for the question. So once it's 5:58, then the comment will be closed for questions. Thank you again, Dr. Triple A, for being here with us. I appreciate it. I love listening to you, right? So my notepad is like full. Thank you so much for sharing from your wealth of
I want to drop.
Okay,
Elizabeth. I want to drop 2 questions that will help people.
Okay.
For anybody that comes. All right. Okay. Daniel says something. Saying something.
Okay. Daniel says most of my questions were covered by Dr. Triple in the course of the presentation. It was a profound session. Amazing. Thank you so much for that feedback.
Thank you for your kind words.
Yeah, thank you so much for the feedback. We appreciate it. So that means Dr. Triple did a great job. You already answered our objection. Even the question I noted down, you noticed that you were already talking to us answering that question. So I just had to put it down there so that you know that this is a question that I actually have, right? So it's just nice that you're able to anticipate what our questions will be and answer them in the course of your session. So we appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. So we're going to say something, sir.
Yeah, so I wanted to, do my usual thing, just coach a bit. And I just want us to do a live coaching, right? So let me ask you, what habits, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, have been sabotaging your success over the past years? What habits do you think have been stopping you, limiting you from achieving and becoming who you're supposed to be? What are those habits? And what I want you to do is to write them down. Of course, don't list them out. We don't want you to list them out. We want you to, share them on social media. Of course not. I want you to write them down wherever you are. Write them down. Minimum. Just keep on writing. I always tell people do a minimum of 5. If you can do that, if you can do more, go ahead. Just keep on writing it. What are those habits? Because if you don't identify those habits, you can't stop them. The things in life, the 4 things we need to do consistently at every point in time in our lives. Number 1, we need to find out what habits do we need to start. What habits do we need? Procrastination. Okay. What are the habits that we need to start? What are the habits we need to stop? What are the habits we need to reduce? Because it's not everything that you do that must be on the same frequency. On a scale of 1 to 10, there are some habits that we need to reduce from a 6 to a 4. You see? It takes wisdom. It takes self-introspection to know that. Number 4 is that what are the things we need to do more of? You need to increase the volume. You need to increase the frequency. So if you've got an habit that you notice is going to position you better, you're going to get to where you're going better, you need to do more of that habit. For example, one of the things that I discovered as a businessman, habits as a businessman, was to talk more about my business every day. I must talk to a minimum of 10 people every day about what I do. If you want to sell more, you've got to increase your visibility. You need to find ways to increase your social media visibility. You need to find ways to talk to more people. You need to find ways to speak and do more presentation. These are things you need to start and do more of. So what are the things you need to, let's start again. What things you need to start? the things you need to stop, what are the things you need to do less of them, you need to reduce, and what are the things you need to do more of. So those habits are very critical. I go to the next question. What habit will you start today that will make you richer, wealthier, healthier, and better by the end of the year? What habits will you start today? Of course, we're coaching, and I know that will take a lot of thinking and introspection. And that's the whole idea of these things. Well, I've discovered that if you spend time thinking more, you're thinking right, you're getting answers to the real questions that matter, your life will gather speed. Your life will gather speed. Acceleration is possible only to those who have accelerated within first. So let me ask you again. What habit will you start today that at the end of the year, it will make you richer, it will make you healthier, it will make you better, it will make you faster, it will make you smarter? What habit? Some of us, we want to be able, ladies and gentlemen, want to be able to have more friends. I'm not talking about acquaintances. Can I be with you? It's one of the things we need to do. We need to have friends who's got our back. We need to have
Very
friends who's
important.
got our back. Very
Yes,
important, isn't it?
very important.
So what habits will you start today that will help you by the end of this year? Then you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends who have got your back. What habits will you start today that will make you richer at the end of the year, such that you've got more zeros in your account more than before? Those are the questions I want to throw to you. I hope this helps.
100%. I'm sure it helps. All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving us a take home. Thank you for giving us assignment as well. Right. This is a proper school. Right now, I feel like okay. It's been very productive because I've not only learned, I've also been able to gain insights. Now I have like my action points and also have like a take home, an assignment, now questions that I need to answer, questions that nobody can answer for you, right? So thank you so much as well again, sir, and thanks to everyone that has joined us so far. Some people were coming and going, and I have quite a number of names here. I have Ayola Tobiloba, I have Claribella, I have Ayamayowa, I have Adachooks, David, Olayiwola, Sir Daniel, Akiolu, Guy, Likenimi, Yomi, the musician. Like so many, I cannot name every one of you, but thank you so much for joining. And like I said earlier, please follow TEDx Alausa on Instagram and turn on your post notification so that you'll be the first to know when our event would happen this year. And do make sure to also follow I am Dr. Triple A on Instagram, and he's also Alfred Adeniyi Atiba on Facebook and LinkedIn, I believe. Right? Yeah, I got the name correctly. Okay, so please make sure to follow Dr. Triple A as well. Thank you so much again,
Daniel.
Dr. Triple A, for joining us. Thanks to every one of you that joined. Right, and
I just wanted to drop this quickly for those who are working professionals, that you need to understand, also ask yourself this question. You can apply the same question to yourself. What one habit or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 habits can I create that will give me that promotion? Remember what I said. People don't promote people. They promote successful habits. They promote successful habits. They promote exceptional habits. Habits are very, very powerful. So powerful that they are the driving engine to amazing and phenomenal results. So you want to have phenomenal results, find out the habits that will naturally produce them. It's called the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect. If you can find out the corresponding habit that has the right results that you're looking for, you invest in that habit, and then the natural thing that comes out is what? Is the result that you're looking for. So cheers.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. And another thing I want to add for those that are watching now, based on some of the things that the Triple A said, is like, okay, so also this is also an avenue for you. It's a platform to you to also build the right network, right? You want to, you want to be successful, you want to be great, you don't just want to be basic. Who are the people around you? Do you have like minds around you? Right now, if you see people come for things like this because they want to learn, you know that okay, these are people that like knowledge, right? So this is an avenue for also to network with like minds. So if you're here and you're watching, and we have so many people that has joined us so far. We have Claribella, we have Fumi Adetoye, we have Sir Daniel 10, right? So just link up with these people, follow them on their social media platforms, and just connect with like minds. Who are your friends really, right? So I think that's also a take home for us from the session. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Triple A, for joining us live today. And thank you, sir. That's I just want to appreciate it because I've learned a lot today. And thanks to everyone that has joined us so far. So make sure to have a very good evening, Dr. Triple A. I think we can have the Triple A right now. Okay. All right. So, okay, it's going to be a very good night for everyone here from now. So, we'll keep you posted on our main event. So please make sure to follow again and click on the notification button. Till next time. Bye, guys. Okay. So thank you so much for joining us live, guys. Dr. Triple A has left. Thank you. I hope this has been super impactful and insightful for you. And I hope that for our subsequent events, sessions, webinars, right, you would make yourself available. And please, you can share this with your friends. It's going to be saved on the Instagram platform, so you can watch again, because no knowledge is lost. So if you were unable to take notes in the course of the session, it's something that you can watch again and learn from, right? So until next time, I'll see you guys. Bye. Thank you. Oh, amazing. Wow, 3 months.